Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
What a wonderful night to be a Mustang.
Come on,
Welcome back
baby.
to a power conference. SMU Mustangs. And live from Fondren Library on the beautiful campus of SMU in the Big D, one of the best ACC cities in the country. You are listening to the Mustang Mood. Let's go.
Pony up, boys.
Go.
Let's go.
Oh my god.
We're back.
Oh my gosh. What a win.
SMU
We
is
have
back.
made it.
It is a full revival from the dead, coming back from the death penalty. We are fully back and are dangerous as ever.
That was fun.
For years and years, SMU fans across the world have been waiting for this moment. Even more than I think like last week, like winning against TCU is fun and all, but we play them like we're supposed to play them. But we're finally back in a power conference, and we showed that we belong, not just because we have the money, but because we got the skill too.
The money may have bought the skill, but
Hey,
the skill is what ultimately matters.
we got the money.
Doesn't
and the
hurt.
Skill.
Wins are what matters.
Yeah.
And we're starting to rack them up.
And how many did we get today?
One.
Wow.
One.
How many could we have gotten?
We could have gotten 0. So
Yeah.
it's infinitely better than
Infinitely.
yeah.
Mm.
You're an engineering whoa. I wasn't an English major. None of us were. But you were an engineering major.
Math, even.
Yeah. So we can do some math.
Yeah.
I
One
did study math.
one
interesting.
equals 1, and we won.
That's good math.
Got that dub.
Yeah, we should cut that part out.
For George.
Unfortunately, it's live. That's not how this works.
Let's just start the episode going straight to the comments. George Carson says, "Hey, do y'all remember that one time Florida State sued the ACC, and in that lawsuit they specifically said that adding SMU to the conference would ruin their strength of schedule?"
I
What
mean, you know what's
Didn't
kind
they
of
ruin our strength? This
I was going to say that exact thing. It actually is no longer a quality win for us after we beat the brakes off
I
them
actually
today.
didn't know that was in there.
Yeah.
It's
I should have taken it more personally.
kind of crazy that we go from that to us blowing them out and their fans booing their own quarterback and head coach.
Yeah. It was
Like, what a 180, you know?
It was demoralizing. I was
It's-
sitting next to a lot of Florida State fans, and I honestly got to a point where I was feeling bad. I was like, "This is just kind of sad." And I feel bad for DJ too because they were booing him. But I mean, there's nothing he could have done out there.
maybe I'm a bad
No.
person, but I actually didn't feel bad at all during the game, so I was
No,
enjoying
I
it
didn't
the whole way
care.
through.
Yeah.
Well, I sat next to someone that was really nice, so it was a little more humanizing for me. Whereas you guys were up, on
Yeah, it
your
was nice in
on your
the
white
box.
thrones,
Uh,
porcelain thrones. Oh, wait, that's the toilet.
yeah,
Sorry.
we weren't
Say
there.
it,
but-
No, I know it's funny because my wife was at the game, and I took a picture of, and I was like looking like this. And I was like, send that to me so I can, you know how I always joke about being a media person. Now I
Oh,
can show
yeah,
it to
yeah.
people and be like, hey, man, that's me.
Oh, you're official.
I'm popular, baby. Just kidding.
But man,
Yeah.
what
It was fun.
But what a game. I mean, it felt like throughout the game that there were many points where momentum was going back and forth. They score a touchdown and then, I mean, it felt like I said, yeah, it was just going back and forth the whole game. But there was like a moment, and I have one in my mind. There was a moment where it just felt like when this play happened, it was just GG. That was basically like, yeah, there's no way they can win now.
You're talking about Kobe?
Let's talk about Kobe.
Oh.
Is
Come
it
on.
time to
Let's talk about
award
Kobe.
the SMU or the Mustang,
Mustang Mood Player of the
Player
game.
of the game. Let's get a good cut here. So
Mm.
the Mustang Mood Player of the game.
is drum roll, please.
Kobe Wilson.
Kobe Wilson.
Rhett Lashley said in the post-game press conference that was the best defensive play he's ever seen in his life, and I completely agree.
That
what
was
a
crazy.
wonderful
There
play.
were multiple points in that return where he should have been tackled,
Or he should have lost
or
the
he
ball.
should have had the ball punched out of his grip.
But he
that
said-
man.
Oh, no, not today.
To describe what happened, he literally broke tackles, jumped over one of our own players, and dragged one of their players into the end zone for a 80-plus yard pick six.
And at the same time, he got a big, stake and just nailed it into the coffin over and over and over, and the ball game was over as soon as he broke that.
Yeah, I mean, you just felt the soul of FSU leave the stadium. and you knew that there was no way that they could win this game.
Yeah, it was done after that, and what a just beautiful play. I want to, if y'all are ready,
Yeah.
let's go to the post-game press conference. Here's Kobe kind of talking about tonight.
Somehow, I don't know how, I thought I was going to go down, but I ended up in the end zone. It was like a blink of an eye. It just took over.
SMU now leads the country in non-offensive touchdowns with 5. What does that say about our team?
That just says that the standard has been risen. Like, last year we took pride in taking the ball away, but this year we knew, like, we're going to take the ball away. Now we got to score with it. So we take pride in not just taking the ball, but being the top scoring defense in the league, and that's going to help us win football games at the end of the day.
How much does club takeaway motivate you to make a try?
Man, I like going to the club, man. So just having a club takeaway, man, that's like, it's a dream come true because you see a lot of guys on my fault, R2D2.
That was his phone.
You see a lot of guys on the other programs. They got like the belt. They got a whole bunch of different celebrations. So that's just our culture right there. So we take pride in celebrating our culture, and that's how you get more commits and more recruits to come join SMU to be a part of that culture.
Club takeaway is SMU culture. I love it.
Yeah.
There's two things. He actually said something at the end there that I want to also mention. But there are two things here. One, we lead FBS in non-offensive touchdowns. That is wild. I mean, we are the premier team in terms of non-offensive touchdowns. And the second thing that he said is that helps recruiting. Coach Lashley said that this was the first time that we have sold out all of our tickets basically for recruits that we give to recruits to come to our stadium. He said literally, if you recruits want to come to the game, you'll have to pay your own way because we actually already gave every single ticket to players that wanted to come watch us. Our recruits want to come to SMU now, and it's just a totally different culture than we've had before. I mean, this is just we're moving up.
We're in the big leagues, baby.
We're in the big leagues,
and
the players know it. Recruits know
it. It is night and day.
We look good. I mean, man, we look good out there. I've been impressed.
Yeah,
and you sound like into it. You sound like
I mean, after I predicted 10-2 before the season. After BYU, I was like, man, we suck. We're trash. And now I'm like, wow, I was right, probably. So always believe in yourself.
Here's Coach talking about the recruits.
No, it's good. I mean, we sold out our ticket allotment for recruits for the first time ever tonight. We had to tell people, sorry, if you walk up, we don't have a ticket for you. That's never happened. There's a lot of really good players here. So, look, I think last week, winning's the best thing you can do for recruiting. We got a lot of momentum behind the program, the conference piece. You know, I think for recruits to be able to come to Ford Stadium, see the Weber End Zone complex, it's impressive, guys, for no matter where you are, and then see the atmosphere in our stadium now and how it changes things, and to see a brand like Florida State across from us, and for how that turned out, I think it's all very, very helpful. But again, you're only as good as your last game, so we got to play well, keep the momentum going.
Yeah. Wow. So another huge recruiting opportunity, just taken fully advantage of, and the Mustangs performed. It boggles my mind. I'm at a loss for words, which doesn't happen to me very often, but I'm at a loss for words for what to think about this. We haven't shown up in games like this in the past. You look back at the Maryland game, you look at TCU games for the last couple of years.
Boston College.
Boston College.
I don't know if we need to count that one.
Yeah.
It was a bit of a special circumstance, but
there are several games where we beat ourselves in the big moments. And we didn't do that tonight. We had a huge moment tonight. We'll talk about this in a quote with Rhett later, but just a huge game tonight, and we performed. We did everything we needed to. We left with a W, and it was just really a wonderful game.
I mean, we didn't play perfect. You can't expect them to play perfect,
By no
but
means.
and there's some things that we definitely need to learn from. We can talk about the secondary more later, but I think that is still a conversation that needs to be had. But man, I just everyone whenever something bad happens, we're like, oh, classic SMU, and it's those things where we just shoot ourselves in the foot. We get in the way
Like
of
BYU.
Yeah. But I didn't really see that this game. The first drive, we looked crisp. We looked sharp.
Yeah.
And
Was that the one where we got the long Jake Bailey
Yeah.
completion?
Yeah.
By the
yeah.
way, the Mustang
touchdown.
Mood interviewees showed out today. Jake Bailey was great.
Jonathan
Yep.
McGill.
Jonathan McGill had that
McGill.
awesome pick.
Yep.
Isaac Pearson got to punt twice for his dad, who was
Yeah,
in town
shout out
from
to
Australia.
Isaac's dad.
Yeah.
Welcome to the States.
And
Glad
he-
you got
he
to
got-
see your
W's in the
punt.
chat for Isaac's dad.
He
Come
got
on,
to
guys.
experience one of the weirdest safeties I've ever seen.
It was.
Yeah.
That was so
Yeah.
weird.
This
It was kind of funny.
It also was just kind of a weird game in a lot of aspects,
Yeah.
at least like the first half, I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There were just some weird things that happened.
And I'm not sure that's a lot of those things are worth talking about. They just seem like they were
No.
just like bounces that just didn't go our way, and we didn't let them affect us.
Mm-mm.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
those things could have derailed the team.
Yeah.
There were I think we still struggle with the timing of penalties.
Yeah,
we
just
give
poorly
up
timed
some
penalties. that
we
just
give
hurt
us-
us.
Yeah, exactly. We give up some bad penalties at times that really, are make or break, and we don't make. So
Yeah, just giving them life when we didn't need to, type stuff.
But you know what was awesome tonight was the environment.
oh my
So
goodness.
we were sitting
gosh.
up in the press box in the stadium, like we were literally
You could feel it.
shaking.
I had a water bottle. I look at it, and literally the water is like vibrating, like it's an earthquake.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Up
it was epic.
Jay and I were talking about it. I mean, it felt like power football.
Yeah.
Like this is what power football is, and you could feel it in the stadium.
It didn't feel like a high school football game. It felt like a college football game for the first half
Yeah.
at least.
Yeah.
A college football game for a team that is a contender is what it felt like.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should. Coach Lashley does have a critique for us at the end of this,
With
but
the assist
with the assist. Yeah.
for me.
But yeah, let's play the video for him.
With that locker room, I just got to enjoy. So.
RJ talked about at the end the difference from 2 years ago when he came in the environment in the stadium. Talk about the fans because it's been about that.
Guys, they can feel it, and our fans have answered the call this year. Our student section, like when they were trying to score before half, it was 14-7 inside the 5-yard line. It was loud. It was loud, like a big-time college football stadium is supposed to be loud when you're at home and make it tough on the opponent. Our guys feel that. They love that. We love that they're there when the game starts, like from the students to the fans to the people in the boxes we can't see. It makes a difference. Now, what we have to learn, and what we also grow to, is we have to stay till the end of the game. And we beat the dog out of TCU last week, and we just beat Florida State. It should be packed at the end of the game, celebrating, going crazy.
Facts.
So that's the next step, I think, for us as a family, a fan base, a team. But they make a big difference, and our players feel that, and we can't thank them enough. I know you had one back there.
I think we just need a better fireworks show at the end, and then everyone will stay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We're 0-1 in
Yeah, I was
post-game
gonna say we've only
fireworks
done
games.
fireworks for the game we lost. So that makes sense.
Coach, if you want people to stay to the end, you got to have a competitive game in the second half, and we haven't had that.
We've just been
in
too
the
good.
last
Yeah,
2
we're
weeks,
too
we're too
good.
good. So we got to get some better competition.
It's true. I mean, we went from and like the program's just. There's a couple comments in the chats about BYU being a true playoff. They could be a playoff team. Absolutely, BYU could actually run the table. They could actually win the Big 12.
The Big
They're-
12 is wide open.
Yeah, it's wide open.
Yeah.
BYU's
The
undefeated.
mid-12.
They're 5-0, and we held them to the lowest scoring for their season. That's totally true, Jack and Juan. But at the same time, I mean, not at the same time. I just want to comment though that we went from no touchdowns, 5 field goals, to scoring over 100 points against Power 4 teams. I mean, everyone was talking 3-4 weeks ago. Can Coach Lashley actually beat a Power 4 team? And we went from struggling against one to dropping over 100 against a TCU team that a couple years ago went to the national championship game, and an FSU team that won the ACC last year. I mean, we're talking a lot of the same players, a lot of the same athletes. So, I mean, that's the difference, and that's the momentum that we have going into road game ACC play.
Yeah, for context, there, Utah right now is losing to Arizona. So
that game's about to be over.
yeah, so it's kind of bonkers how
It's
wide
wide
open the
open.
Big 12 is. So yeah, BYU keep winning.
Please.
I guess look a little bit better. So
Thanks.
appreciate that.
You know, kind of lightly cheering for the Mormons out there.
Yeah. Speaking of, there's no way to make this transition. How about let's give a shout out to the Mustang Mood for asking a great question for the second
Oh,
week in
yeah.
a row.
Oh,
From
We got
Coach
that queued
Lashley.
up.
Yeah, here we go.
8:15.
Big shout out to
I think
Yonnic.
you're going to made it from anything inside the 50.
Land for
So.
this one.
You mentioned going on the road. How do you guys feel going into your first away game in the conference?
It's a great question. I have no idea yet. I'll be honest with you.
Good job, Yonnic.
I'll let you know tomorrow after I wake up. I mean,
I hope your
I've been
mom's
to
in the
Louisville.
chat saying she's proud of
It's a
you.
great setting.
Thanks, Mom.
It's a great crowd. They
Wonder
are
what-
incredibly well coached.
what do y'all
They're
think,
well-coached
Rhett's
in
gonna do
the environment.
tomorrow?
Really have a ton of respect for how they do
He's gonna reach out
things.
to us. He's gonna let us know.
And tomorrow I'll go to church and eat lunch, and then I'll start to worry about that. It's a fair
Oh.
question.
Interesting.
He's going to church
Good man.
at I was gonna say our church.
Yeah.
That's what you
Hopefully we'll
call
see you there.
Watermark.
We don't all go to the same
Freshman.
church.
That's leading by example. That is how you know he's a great leader. He's leading by
Yeah.
example.
Yeah.
And he's gonna eat lunch.
He will eat lunch.
And he talked about prayers up for Florida.
He did.
Bulls.
Yeah.
For
Yeah,
the-
you talked about that later.
That was a
yeah,
nice
for
touch at
Hurricane
the
Helen
end.
coming
Yeah.
through.
Elite.
And that is something, we don't want to dog on somebody while they're down and all that. Like we love that we won, but yeah, prayers out for all the people over in just the whole southeast region that are,
Mhm.
getting affected
Yeah.
by Hurricane Helen.
For sure. And definitely missed the Florida State band as well. Would have been fun
Yeah.
to have that extra bit of the environment there.
The fan they showed up though. I mean, like they were doing their
Do you think
thing
there
at
were
the
more of
beginning.
them than BYU fans?
I bet you
It looked like there were a lot.
There were
they
a
were
lot.
quieter.
Yeah.
than
The
the
BYU
BYU
fans were louder.
Mm.
Yeah. I bet you it was about the same.
I think I agree.
FSU was they were. I mean, I was sitting in that section. They were pretty loud, but
I saw there were a lot of them at the Boulevard.
Yeah.
More than BYU.
Yeah,
they
I guess that
definitely
makes
came.
sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
drank a lot more beer than
Yeah.
BYU fans.
I wonder why.
That's a fact.
Oh man. Yeah, I was talking to a buddy who was sitting in the stands, and he said that the BYU fans were much louder than the Florida State fans. So, and I don't know if that's 100% true, but man, it was rocking tonight, and what a great time. So,
Yeah.
one thing I want to talk about is the running back situation. There was
Yeah.
literally walking behind Coach Lashley as he was doing his halftime interview on TV was Kamar Wheaton and Jalen Knighton
Yeah.
on crutches, like walking behind him in the shot. And he's like, man, we're not super deep. And so let's see. I've got a list here of active running backs for SMU. Brashard Smith.
That was a
That's
good
all we
list.
got left.
That was a solid list right there.
Roderick Daniels is a wide receiver. So
we were running them.
we sure did. And he looked good. I think he stepped up. He averaged 3.5 yards a carry.
He did what we needed him to. That's all you can ask.
Exactly.
We'll gloss over the punt return game, which was a
Wow.
nightmare tonight. But
Yeah, I mean, Coach
He-
talked about that a little bit.
yeah.
He said, he's like, yeah, he
Gotta
struggled a
value the
little bit
ball
in
a
there,
little more.
but
He's usually-
normally very
yeah, yeah.
consistent, and he actually had some high praise for him for just being because they were moving him all over the field in punt return, a receiver, a running back, and so I think he'll bounce back from that.
do you guys? I wasn't up in the press box and I was busy before. But what happened to LJ? Did he? I don't think he played today.
He was concussed last week.
Oh,
so
that's
he took
right.
a big hit against
yeah,
TCU.
Yeah. So he should be back next week then.
Yeah, I think
So long
I
as
think
he
he was
clears
day to day this
protocol.
week.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they were thinking we may have him back today, but we ended up not.
Yeah. But man, I mean, I don't know if I have a whole lot of other thoughts for the game. actually.
We just completely destroyed them on every front. A thing that was really touched on in the press conference was how balanced our offense was. We had like 200 rushing yards, 250 passing yards around there.
Yeah, 248, 254.
Oh, it was that close?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I think that just speaks volumes to what I was just thinking, take yourself back to watching us play Nevada or us playing BYU. Like,
Yeah,
take
we were
yourself
doing the
back to
quarterback
watching
alternating
those
situation,
games.
yeah.
Right.
And
Us
then take
beating our
yourself to
head
watching this
against
game.
the wall.
Yeah, Jay was
we were
literally
depressed
Jay was literally hitting his head against the wall
after the Nevada
after
game.
the Nevada game.
And then BYU comes to town, and we were so depressed after that.
Watch that episode, but we were so depressed.
Yeah.
It's sad to listen to it now.
And look at us
we
now.
were so sad.
Let's go, ACC.
But I mean,
Man.
the change in the team from the offensive line to the quarterback situation to the play calling, I mean, everything. It's just night and day. Like
It really
it's like we're
is.
watching a different team almost.
Yeah, and I will say, like, let's give Rhett his flowers. I was his biggest critic, before the
You
last,
always are.
before the last 2 weeks.
What's your name in our fantasy?
Oh, I was gonna change it this week, but I forgot. I'm not gonna bring that up. I thought he was absolutely like on fire today. Like the play calling was really good.
It was that flea flicker.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, Kevin was crisp. He looked awesome. I mean, everything was flowing.
A few deep balls out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, had a couple deep balls that were just clean on target.
I remember, when they announced that Kevin was the starter, we're kind of dropping Preston. My first text was, "I'm gonna miss the bombs," and we may get some.
Well, here's the thing: is the bombs he threw were not nearly as accurate as Preston Stone's bombs.
They were,
but they were to wide open receivers because we were just pounding the ball. And they had to sell out on the run on some of these plays. And
he was a lot better in like the mid, like both of the throws to. It's funny because I was on the opposite sideline to both of the ones to RJ. I didn't celebrate because I was like I couldn't tell like if it was in because like from that angle. But yeah, no,
he
was awesome.
The third quarter for RJ was pretty awesome.
Yeah, he was awesome. Rhett deserves all the credit. I will gladly eat some humble pie.
Yeah, there is some. I mean, it is an area that ideally Kevin does continue to improve in. He's already, if you look at his stats in the last 2 games for passing versus the games leading up to TCU and FSU, he struggled a lot more than he did recently. He's really getting into the groove of things, and if he can get a little more accurate, then it's going to open up the game even more, because there were several times where we didn't get pass interference calls because the balls were uncatchable. If he has these balls placed a little bit better, there were several drives. There's 2 drives I'm thinking of right now that if they were a little bit more accurate, then we get pass interference calls, which just moves the chains. Long third downs turn into first downs. And so there's still if he fixes that, he'll be an elite quarterback.
That's the
only thing that he's really missing, because he can run. He can get a lot of these passes. He's getting a lot better at them. Like the mid-range passes. I was critiquing him 3 weeks ago, saying, he's like a short passing guy. But no, he really is. He's dropping some longer bombs now. And if he gets a little bit more accurate in that area, we'll have an elite quarterback on
Oh my gosh. And I think he can get there. And the reason why is because he is so cool-headed.
Very level-headed.
He's almost robotic. It's kind of freaky, just seeing him play, and kind of in the press conference too. It's just
real cut and dry. This is what we do. Nothing seems to faze him. Somebody in the press conference commented on his last 5 starts were a state championship for high school, conference championship for SMU, and then what was it?
The
bowl game, and then
Iron Skillet,
and then FSU.
This game, yeah.
And so he's just, he just plays big games.
Dude is unfazed.
Here's that.
Last 5 starts, you won a state championship, a conference championship, the Iron Skillet, and then now this game for state. What is it about you in big games?
It's a blessing to the Most High. He got my back no matter what it is.
Oh,
Jay.
Sorry.
I play the best. It's a blessing to the Most High. He got my back no matter what it is, and when the big games come on, that's when I play the best and I get to show out. So I love the big games. Every time the games come around, that's when I'm the best.
That's when he's the best,
and it shows. He really has. And we've got another big game next week, and so it's time for him to show out.
I trust him to show up.
Yeah,
I do.
That's something that Coach Lashley talked about. Just like, this is the first real, the road games are a different kind of test. But yeah, Kevin, he's so even keel. This is a game that seriously concerned me at the beginning of the season, and then for the last several weeks, I don't feel concerned about it. Now, do I think that Louisville will probably be favored against us? Do I think they're probably a little bit better? Maybe. But I actually feel like we have a real good shot at actually just knocking this one off and getting another dub.
Yeah, maybe we can talk about this in a little bit more detail here in a few minutes. But just what a wonderful win tonight. Like Rhett was saying, tonight's win is one win. It's great, but it doesn't get us any points next week, and so we got to keep going. Yeah, I just want to go around the table again and talk about, I guess, what we thought about this game in the preseason, what we thought about this game last week, and then kind of where we stand now. So I think we all, 3 of the 4 of us picked Florida State to win in the preseason.
Mm-hmm. Do we hear? Someone's downstairs. Or maybe it's the dog.
Maybe it was. Let me go
I
check
don't
on
know.
that real quick.
Joe will go check on that.
All right,
while
our
we talk
security is
about
going to go check it
Chief
out.
of Security.
Anyways, so
Okay.
yeah, we can just start. I can start. I know going into the season, definitely thought that Florida State was going to win, without a doubt.
Because, I mean, to be honest, I mean, Florida State still has a top 2, probably top 3 roster in the ACC. They have an elite roster in terms of athletes, in terms of skill positions. They just haven't come together as a team at all.
Yeah, their whole situation may be some kind of like coach case study, like on how you can just have
It's gotten
all the
so
right
bad,
parts, but just completely break down.
It's
crazy.
reminiscent of when A&M got the #1 recruiting class of all time, and they had the #1 team just in terms of blue chip athletes, 4 and 5 stars, and they got like 6 wins or 7 wins in the season. That's what it felt like. It's like you see these like amazing athletes that just cannot come together as a team. And so and I mean, even Nick Saban picked FSU to win the ACC, and so there's obviously something there, but that's the difference between a bunch of individuals and a team like SMU that has clear leadership and is all moving in unison. The sum of the parts of SMU is far greater than just the individual pieces that FSU seems
Come
to
on,
have.
Jay. What was it? I'll wait till you get to the mic.
It
Yeah.
was an intruder.
It's an intruder. We're safe now, though. Fondren Library is locked down.
Good, good.
Talk to the security
Some
guard
great
downstairs.
security here.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, the
Not
fourth
many people.
floor.
Not many
is a
people
little
make it to
sketchy.
the 5th floor.
You got to know someone to get up here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you do.
Facts.
Yeah, so did not think that they were going to win at all. Jay was. I'll let you own it. You got it.
I called it. We won, baby. Let's go. Now, what I didn't call is us winning next week, and I think we got a good shot of doing it. So we'll have to see
I mean, nobody could have predicted what
what
a
happened.
dumpster fire that Florida State would turn into
Well,
this year.
I mean, there's a guy in Tallahassee that has to eat. You know what?
Out of a.
Out of a red Solo Cup.
Yeah,
So
He's gone missing.
they're cursed.
it's literally a hurricane, and now 1-4.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Going into this week, I think my guess was that it would be fairly low scoring. I thought we would be in low 20s. They'd be high teens. I think everyone else kind of said the same thing. What did y'all say? Do you remember?
I think
Yeah.
Jay was the only blowout prediction, right?
I don't even know if I would call it a blowout.
I thought you said 27-3.
Was that right?
Yeah.
But
That was the
but
closest.
tonight, yeah,
That was actually
Tonight was a
Easily the
lot better.
closest.
than I would have imagined. I
Yeah.
thought it would be like at least like competitive into the third quarter.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it would be like 28-21,
Well,
I think is what I said.
It
or
was
28-24.
close going to the third quarter, but
Yeah.
Kind of.
after
yeah.
halftime.
I mean, yeah.
it was
It was.
14-9 at halftime.
Yeah, no, it was.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do we have any good info in the chat?
I think I also predicted that Jennings was going to fumble it once or twice because I was worried about his ball control.
Because
But
he had a
did-
fumble a few weeks ago, right? I think.
Oh, he had
Yeah,
one
last
last
week.
week. Yeah.
Yeah, it was TCU. Yeah.
And, you know, maybe he was holding it better. I don't think he ran as much as he did last week.
No, I don't think
So that probably
yeah.
played into it, but because he didn't need to run, you know, our offensive line was doing so well that our running backs just could go wherever they wanted, basically.
He had 9 carries. It's not like none.
It's more than
but
Preston would, but
yeah, it's true.
yeah, I think. So I'm glad he didn't fumble. Maybe they're working on that. I mean, he did fumble last game, so I'm sure they were working on it with him.
Yeah.
So he's definitely improved there, which I'm very happy about.
Yeah. I think like we can definitely give the runner-up Mustang Mood Player of the Game to Kevin Jennings.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. What a wonderful performance
Yeah.
tonight.
He was great.
I mean, just I was kind of shocked when I looked down and saw that we had thrown for 250 yards.
3 touchdowns, no picks.
Right. In my mind, I would kind of have flipped it as it felt like we ran for 250 yards and 3 touchdowns and threw for 2.
Mhm.
But it was actually the opposite. So what a wonderful job by Kevin Jennings. He stepped up in the big games. He's done
Yeah.
Yeah, I
exactly
definitely.
what we needed.
I didn't, sorry, I'm making us all yawn. It's late, guys.
It's
It is so late.
It's almost 1 a.m.
Yeah. But I think Kevin has kind of cemented himself. He's proved himself
Yeah,
to the
he
fan
has.
base, without a doubt. Last game,
The fans are fully behind him.
Last game, it was like, yeah, good. There were still some things we're worried about, but he got it done. This game, I mean, man, come on.
Yeah, there is no doubt Kevin Jennings is, he's the face of the franchise right now.
Yeah.
So, and and he gives us a lot of confidence going into a ranked matchup on the road. So it's awesome.
All right.
So
Anything else we need to talk about from this week? I mean, it was just a dominant performance by your SMU Mustangs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what I'd like to hear from the chat is can you tell me which win was more important to you as a fan? Was it this week or last week?
That's a great question.
That is a good question.
What do y'all think? If we had to lose one, well, no, let's not even say that. Let's just which one is more important?
TCU is more important for sure.
For me, it's the TCU win.
Really?
I think emotionally TCU, logically probably Florida State, because
It felt different because Florida State just felt like a team that was just falling apart.
Yeah, that's
just
true.
in a lot of ways. Whereas TCU felt like a team that was like, all right, people respected them. They're like, all right, this is a strong team still, and we just beat them down. Like we beat down a team that everyone looked at as like, oh, this is a strong team. Whereas FSU is like, yeah, they kind of suck, so you should beat them down.
It was still impressive. I mean, we scored a lot more points than anybody has against them. So, but yeah,
it's really emotional for Ben. He's crying a little bit right now.
He is.
I'm slumped.
Guys.
We are all so tired. So we'll kind of be quick about the rest of this. But I think for me, I would say probably the same as TCU was more like emotionally important.
Yeah.
It felt very cathartic. But I could imagine how for fans of SMU since the Pony Express, like tonight would have been like the bee's knees of like coming back. And after, 40 years of suffering, we're able to move on.
Yeah. It was really cool to hear. Eric Dickerson went down to the locker room. We may have a clip, but Rhett was telling us, and the players were telling us that he was down there, and he told them, amazing job. Like, this is what we've been waiting for. We're unbelievably proud of all of you. Like, you make all of the alumni and all the fans and all the students and all the former players and everyone just so proud because we're back. Like, we haven't been to this level since the 80s, and it is really cool to see. I think it means a lot to the players. It means a lot to all of us and to the alumni.
Yeah.
And to Rhett, too, you could tell.
Yeah, and RJ, I think it was, said that somebody told him that apparently Eric Dickerson was up in his box. Oh, is that what you're about to play?
Well, Jay's queuing it up right now.
Not what
No,
RJ said,
I didn't think so. Apparently he was crying up there. So
Yeah.
Not
emotional
ordinarily.
tears. Yeah. Eric Dickerson.
Eric Dickerson,
like
yes.
happy,
The legend.
happy tears.
And like imagining a guy like who's poured so much into this program for the last 30 years, like it's had to have been hard. We've only suffered for a few years, whereas they suffered for years and years and years. Here's Rhett about
this is totally different, and it's just a new set of challenges.
What was the pressure like for you tonight?
The pressure?
Yeah, for you tonight in this big game.
No, that's not it.
Oh, I don't know.
Meh. Oh well, we told you
it happened.
It
happened.
happened.
What we said.
Well,
just
actually,
is what happened.
maybe this is it.
I don't know. I didn't think about it. I wanted to win. It's an opportunity. I mean, this is a big moment for SMU, and people have talked about it a lot. We've been talking for 10 or 11 months, so I'm glad we can maybe move on from some of that. But it's all been good. It's Eric Dickerson was in the locker room after the game and talked to the team, and he talked about, man, we've been waiting for this for 30 years. He's like, this is how we used to play, and you made us proud, those kind of things. But it's hard to put into words in a short answer of all the things that this means to just the SMU family and anyone who's connected to the university, past, present, or will be. But it was a big moment. We're back on the stage. We're playing an ACC game against a national brand, the defending champs. And it's just really humbling to be able to validate that we belong and to come through when we needed to tonight. Again, it only counts as one, but we're going to enjoy it until tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of validation, I think, at this point.
Absolutely.
I think the fan base, the players, Coach Lashley, the whole coaching staff, everyone thinks we're a contender now. And we are validated in coming into the ACC. I mean, as George said, like FSU is like, oh, they're ruining our strength of the schedule. No, like we are we are actually one of the power teams in the ACC.
I was gonna say
It's
like
just a crazy statement.
I don't think it's even a debate that we're top 4 like
No,
in the conference right now. Like
It's-
we got to be considered,
Miami,
Among the-
Clemson, Louisville, us. Like
Yeah.
those are the 4.
Right.
which is crazy.
Do we want to talk about the awful scenario we were talking about earlier?
Yeah. It's unfortunately, so Jay and I were talking as we were driving over here in prep for the podcast. Unfortunately, it actually is possible for SMU to go undefeated and not make the conference title game because Miami doesn't play Clemson and we don't play either of them. So it's actually theoretically possible for all 3 of us to go in conference-wise undefeated. And the tiebreaker is the highest ranking college football playoff team, which would Miami's ranked number 7 in the AP poll right now, and Clemson's number 17. So we would very likely get left out of that game. It's a really
What if BYU won the Big 12?
wouldn't. Well, I mean, we maybe it's
I
possible
guess-
for us to get ranked higher than them if Clemson drops like a non-conference game or something like that, and they have 2 losses. But in theory, if we all win out, there's a possibility that we could actually win every game, be undefeated in conference play, and still not make the conference title game. It's an unlikely scenario because I doubt everyone's just going to have a perfect record. But I mean, Miami looks like they're going to run the table, and Clemson's
Yeah.
Clemson. So
And poor
it's possible.
Miami's had a little bit of help from the ACC officials.
It
I gotta
did feel
say,
like
though.
their thumb was on the scale last night.
That was
to
that
me,
was
there was definitely not enough evidence to overturn that.
that was one of those. I don't think I've ever seen a play like that where I was like, I have no idea what the officials are gonna do because that play was crazy.
Yeah.
But I will say, sucks for Louisville having to play all 3 of us.
They do.
Yeah.
They are the
That's-
common denominator.
They got screwed by the schedule this year. That's tough.
So, yeah, we'll have to
Good
see.
luck.
Yeah, but I mean, we can't really get too far ahead of ourselves. I mean, I think we should maybe talk a little bit about the Louisville game because this is.
I was gonna
big
say,
deal.
can we go to comments for a
Oh,
second
yeah.
before we go to
Let's go to
Louisville?
Yeah.
First, everyone likes Jay's booty. 'Cause
It's a
he
good-looking
he
one.
showed it off when he
Sorry, guys.
went by the camera there. Also, I
Kicked up.
think just about everyone agrees that the TCU win was more important.
Okay.
And let's see,
Yeah, Sean's
Because
right.
we got
It was a
young
turning
folks.
point for the team. The
Yeah.
TCU game was a turning point
for
Yeah,
sure.
that's
I
Sean-
think we had anyone over like 40. I don't know. I don't know how old our folks are, but I think if we asked an older person, an older
Yeah.
mom, they would probably say the opposite. But
Maybe.
we haven't experienced it for so long.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Sean also said the guy I watched the game with tonight asked about the Jennings Stone situation, and y'all's podcast helped me explain it.
Let's go.
So thanks for the coverage, y'all.
You're very welcome.
We're providing value somehow. I really
nice
appreciate
work.
that. Let's see. I was high on life after beating TCU. Yeah, me too, Juan. For sure.
I still am. Like on Wednesday morning, I was like smiling, and Audrey asked me, "Is like, why are you happy?" It's like, we
Is that not
beat
normal, Jay?
TCU.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
We beat TCU, and she's like, "You're still happy about that? Like you're still on that?" I was like, "Yeah." I was stressing about this for weeks before it happened. I gotta be happy for like a few days afterwards.
Yeah. And we got this. If you're listening, I'll explain it. But if you're watching, it may be hard to read. But we have this wonderful little iron skillet, this little cast iron pan that Jay and I got signed by Coach Lashley.
Yeah,
The man.
we went up, got his autograph, and talked to him for a quick second, and he had no idea who we were. So
Not surprised.
hopefully it clicked today when he saw it.
He's
Maybe.
recognizing
For the
us more, I
third
think.
press
He's
conference.
Yeah.
he's seen us a few times.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We're,
we've seen
but
him
we're
4
also
times
like
now.
on
But
a,
also-
on the like list of important people to
Oh
him.
yeah.
Billy and Body.
Number 1.
Bill Armstrong,
Number 2.
David Miller, number 1.
Number 1.5.
Yes,
Maybe
RGT. Number what? 6.
Rick
7?
Hart.
Rick Hart,
Yeah.
He's up there.
and then us.
Right.
Yeah, we're
I mean, we're
His
probably-
wife, his family.
So
his
what are we
kids.
like 8,
But-
9?
Yeah, probably like 8 or
something
9.
like that.
he's a busy guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll hang out with them at some point when we have the time.
Yeah.
Before we go to Louisville,
When we have the time.
I also wanted to give a shout out to Isaac Pearson and his dad,
Yep.
our punter and his dad from Australia. His dad flew in from Australia, was here for the TCU game, and Isaac did not punt at all, which is sad. But
Yeah.
thankfully, his dad also came to this game. He's still in town.
Stuck around. Yeah.
And Isaac's first punt of the game was, we were like 3rd and 23 or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I bet you Isaac's dad was cheering for Florida's defense on that because he wanted to see, he wanted to see his son punt. which I don't blame him. I don't blame
He
him.
did a great job.
He had an amazing punt that
He got robbed.
He got robbed.
robbed.
It was on like the 4-inch line.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
they
I
said that
couldn't
one of
see
our
that.
guys had, when he had
Stepped
touched
in,
it, he touched the line in the end zone, which he didn't when we did we went with the replay, but they can't review that play. And so he actually got robbed of one that landed like 4-inch on the 4-inch line. It was crazy.
We should do it like the UFL or XFL where you can literally challenge anything. I mean, it's coming eventually. It has to.
It'll probably come. Yeah, it'll probably come at some point. But yeah, it was.
Yeah.
He had one of the best punts that I've ever seen. Just with that one. I mean, to be fair, it was part of our players that were streaking down that they helped like get it on the 1 yard.
It was
But
a great punt.
Well,
it was a great punt.
they didn't.
Technically, they did it,
but it's not
they
it's not
actually
Isaac's
did
fault.
it.
Yeah.
Like
No.
Isaac gave him the punt. They
Yeah.
just it was a bad call, unlucky, whatever.
Proud of you, Isaac.
Good work.
Love to see you again.
Okay, Louisville.
Yeah.
What do we got?
Louisville. So
They are in Kentucky.
Really?
They
What
play
else?
football.
What conference are they in?
I mean, their quarterback's a stud.
American?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tyler Shuck's pretty good.
Yeah, he's 11 and
he's
1
good.
for touchdown interceptions right now.
Yeah. Louisville, man. Really.
Louisville.
Louisville,
man.
Texas.
All right. Yeah. Louisville is going to be, I mean, I think this is the biggest game left on our schedule.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think
100%.
If I would have rated
Minus
it,
the natty, but yeah.
right. In the regular
Of the regular
season.
season, it's the biggest one.
When we see
Yeah.
them again, well, I guess we won't see them. We'll see Miami in the conference championship. But anyway,
Anyway,
man, someone just broke in again. To the
Really?
fifth floor. Yeah. Oh, to the fourth floor, I guess.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I don't. Maybe I'm just hearing things. It's probably a ghost.
Yeah. It's the
Tune in next week for a special guest on the podcast. Our
Casper.
ghost.
ghost of Sonny Dykes.
Ooh, who?
We're cloudy. Yeah.
No. We're
Well, yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm
No,
better.
yeah, well, you're
I don't
healed.
even got-
You're
I'm healed. I'm healed.
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 honestly,
Wait, I do. I'm not gonna pass up an opportunity to throw some shade at TCU, even though I am healed. Doesn't mean I can't make fun of them as a rival, right?
in all honesty, though, guys, who would you rather have? Like, if you take out the drama in terms of coaching ability,
Rhett
who would you
Lashley.
rather
Red
have?
Lashley,
Rhett
100%.
Lashley.
Yeah. No, we're better
Exactly.
off.
Like,
I'm
we are
glad it
actually
happened.
better off. We have a better team now.
I'm glad that it happened.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
fact.
Ben, say it out loud.
That's a fact.
It's a fact.
I will say, I mean, I think rightly so. Before the TCU game, we had some questions of like, he hasn't won a big game yet. I
Yeah.
mean, he hasn't won a Power 5 game yet. So like,
And now he's put up over 100
he's
points
proved
on the last
himself.
two.
Yeah,
It's like,
he deserves his flowers.
It's crazy.
for sure.
so,
But anyways, I found this news article that says Dallas is one of the best cities in the country for dating. Fort Worth, one of the worst. Study finds. That's Fox 4 News. It doesn't apply to any of us because we're all married, but
true.
Right.
people come to DFW for Dallas
To find love.
Yeah.
Oh,
to find love in
We're
Dallas.
the city of love.
Yeah, they come to. Yeah, right. Exactly.
well, they might come to both, but they just don't find it in one.
Yeah.
Yeah. About the Louisville game, I will say, I'm really glad it's at 11. Okay, I'm not glad it's at 11 a.m. I'm glad it's not a night game because I just feel like, the blackout at night is rough. So I feel like the crowd's not as good, of course, when it's not at night. So anywhere really. So
Well, that's good for us, right?
yeah, no,
We all
yeah.
want that
I'm
crowd.
glad. I would be a little bit more worried if not that I'm not worried. I'm not saying I think we're definitely gonna win, but I think it helps us not being at night. So
Yeah.
I think we're on schedule for ESPN or ESPN2.
it looks like
think.
ESPN has been announced for this
That's sweet.
game.
All right.
We deserve that.
Good stuff.
Yeah. So ESPN 11 o'clock. So right after game day. If you turn on College Game Day, you get our game afterwards, which is kind of cool.
It's good
That is
stuff.
pretty sweet.
Yeah. Solid.
Could be a good game.
There was a shot that game day would be in Louisville next week, but Louisville dropped the game today to
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
Dame.
None of us have been able to watch that.
By
I'm
one
sure,
touchdown.
I'm sure
Yeah.
I'll watch that either. Probably not tomorrow. I'll probably throw that on Monday night and
Yeah.
watch that and see. But
I've never watched a rerun football game before.
in 2008, I went to this game in Lubbock, Texas, where Michael Crabtree pulled free, scored a touchdown with
Oh
3
my
seconds left.
gosh.
It was a wonderful game. I was there live, and then I bought it for my iPod, and I
You're-
watched it over
You're kidding.
and over
Dude,
and over
You
again.
used to be able to buy reruns of
Yeah.
games?
I think I paid 99 cents to watch that, and then
Dude,
I've
that
worn
game
it out.
was amazing.
It's one of the greatest
Yeah.
things of my life. Yeah,
That-
33,
dude,
39,
That was awesome.
November 1st, 2008. Michael Crabtree's my
You're
freaking hero. Yeah, it was wonderful. It was wonderful.
The
Yeah.
good old days.
You had no care in the world, cheering for Tech,
Yeah,
and
man.
people were losing their houses.
And Jay was having a great time while they were.
George W. Bush was still president at
He
that
was.
time.
He was at the
crazy.
game.
He
Speaking
was.
of George
Funny,
W.
yeah,
Bush.
funny thing.
Shame.
Funny thing. So
Great
Jay and I,
transition.
Jay and I were down on the sideline before the game started, and we have to go up to the press box at like 25 minutes left on the clock before the game, and we're walking through the hallway underneath the stadium or whatever,
Yeah.
and there's just like a bunch of guys, bunch of men, with
In like khaki,
yeah,
boot
different colored
cut jeans,
suits,
sports
like just
coat.
sports coats,
Yeah, and like they had like
it's like a star on it.
hands,
With a,
yeah.
And they all looked very serious, and
Yeah.
I needed
you
to
could
I needed to walk through them.
they had some bulge on their hip.
See, I could tell that they all looked very serious, and I'm like, I'm not going to look anyone in the eye. I'm just going to walk through this group.
Say,
And just
"Excuse me,
get outta
excuse
here."
me." And that was probably not a wise idea.
What do you mean? I was like,
we
just
were
gonna
walking
get out.
between them and who they were trying to protect.
But there were other people around.
Okay,
It wasn't
yeah,
just
that's
them,
fair.
you
That's
know.
fair.
They
It'd be
were,
kinda-
they were at the door.
It'd be kind of cool to say you got tackled by like a Secret Service person.
That
so.
yeah,
Even-
yeah.
Or a Texas Ranger.
Hey,
Yeah.
next time
Yeah.
let's do something sketchy.
Maybe not.
I don't know about
Maybe
that.
don't.
You did. Secret Service, don't watch this episode.
They probably are.
Yeah,
that was a joke, guys. Sarcasm.
Hey, guys, I just saw
Hey, our viewership just
go up.
skyrocketed.
But anyways,
We've been scrubbed off.
anyways,
the
Yeah.
internet.
we were
don't
we were
exist
we were
anymore.
talking about, you know, who the heck is here? Is it some politician or
We
something?
were really concerned that it would be Ted,
Ted
Cruz.
Cruz.
The Zodiac Killer.
No, no, the guy that has a 0-5 record for supporting Texas.
Any
teams.
Texas team, he
Oh.
goes to it, they lose if he supports
Yeah.
them. It's bad luck.
Right.
I don't know why.
Yeah, so it wasn't Ted. It wasn't Greg.
It was good luck, George.
It was Good Luck George. W.
UW.
W.
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 W. Bush. Got that win, baby.
Yeah, we did.
You know who else? You know, speaking of people who are somewhat connected to that football game, there's an appearance by another future president in that football game who was friends with Mike Leach. There's a cameo of Donald Trump in that football game, like talking about his friendship with Mike Leach. I'll find that for next week.
When?
During the game, they like cut to a pre-recorded
big
video.
screen?
No. In the broadcast.
Oh,
On the ESPN broadcast. I've got the video. I'll find it, and we'll play the audio next week of Donald Trump in that game. But that's pretty funny.
I was gonna
That's
say I
interesting.
didn't know he flew from Tuscaloosa to come watch our game. That would have been a mistake.
No. Yeah. That was from the 2008
Oh.
Texas Tech.
Mm.
It was sorry. I was thinking about the
We're really
important
jumping around
game.
here.
Oh.
And one more thing about the 2008 Texas Tech, but there was more SMU related. There was a guy that I saw tonight on the sidelines of the SMU football game, Craig James, and he has. If you see me outside of the podcast when we're not recording anything, ask me what I think of Craig James. But he and his son were involved in the Mike Leach error. End of the era
Death?
at
They killed him?
at
No, I'm just kidding.
at Texas Tech. So
That wasn't funny.
so yeah, but an SMU connection there as well. So
Nice.
the more you know.
Back to the Louisville game.
Sorry,
We
I-
got off
hold
on
on,
a
hold on,
wild
hold on.
tangent.
Let's go.
Let's
Let's
go.
go.
We're too tired to
So-
focus.
Yeah. Let's I don't think we want to keep people too much longer.
Yeah.
But let's real quick, like anything that in the Louisville game that sticks out to you, the concerns, things that we think we can take advantage of, anything like that.
I don't know.
Yeah, I literally have no idea. Never
looks like-
watched them play.
Tyler Shuck has been throwing the ball pretty efficiently this
Yeah.
year. He's 52 of 76 for 850 yards, 8 touchdowns. Seems pretty
That's actually
efficient.
not updated. He's got 3 more touchdowns and his first interception.
Wow,
against Notre
okay.
Dame. So he had another good game.
But tickets are cheap, $16.
Whoa.
So that seems
Well-
like a good sign.
Yeah.
What's the spread?
It's
I don't
not
think-
out yet on
yeah.
ESPN. I don't know
Okay.
if it's out anywhere else right now.
It's probably about.
It's
probably
late, man. It's
not. Yeah.
It's
Hey,
late.
Vegas is always working.
Hey, that's
Yeah.
true. City that never sleeps.
Facts.
Fondren Library. The library that never
library
sleeps.
never
That's what they
sleeps.
call it.
That's That's right. I haven't really done any prep for that either. I feel like the last 2 weeks have been too emotional.
We're really good at our jobs.
Yeah.
So maybe we're
I mean,
just
we're not the first best SMU podcast.
The
If-
second
if-
best. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
You're only here for the second
Oh.
best content.
We are the first best. We're just the second most popular, most well known.
That's true.
That's true. That's
Ah.
true.
I like that.
Just because we're not as well known doesn't mean we don't have the best content.
And maybe I'll speak for you guys a little bit. Maybe it's that we don't need to know so much about Louisville. We just need to know what we need to do because we play
That's
SMU
true.
football, we win.
Just
That's
like
true. I think if we score 44 points next week, we're gonna win. So
just like Rhett said when they prep for TCU, they didn't talk about them at all. We don't even need to talk about the team.
exactly.
We're gonna win.
We just need defense to score another touchdown.
What do you
Yep.
come to the SMU Sports Podcast to hear about? Louisville or SMU?
Louisville is a 6.5 favorite.
Yeah, okay.
So we are a 1 touchdown dog.
Bet the house on the ponies.
Sure.
You know,
And
it's interesting. We can go to game.
We were
predictions if you
favored by
want,
that against
but-
FSU. Actually, less.
So if we carry the one,
So we're gonna lose by 26. Is that what you're saying?
Basically, we always overperform our line.
Okay,
So-
fair enough.
except for against BYU
Except for BYU, which we don't talk about.
and
I-
against Nevada.
I feel like a lot of I feel like something that makes us great too is no matter what our head tells us, or we go with our hearts. So like for example, Oklahoma played Auburn this weekend on their staff picks. 2 of the 4 picked Auburn to win, and one of them said he was picking OU, but he's like, I think Auburn will win. Whereas like I think every week I'm gonna predict SMU to win. I don't care. Like we go with our hearts, baby.
So what do you think the score is going to be of this SMU victory?
I'm gonna go with I kind of could see it being high scoring, because I think our secondary
They're going to take advantage
outside of
that.
Jonathan McGill, who's really solid tonight, obviously there are some holes there. I mean, I think I'll go with 38-31.
I'm just going to jump in. I'm going to go 41-38. Ponies win.
Isaac, not Isaac.
41.
Isaac holds for the game.
Isaac holds for the game-winning field.
Mm.
5 touchdowns, 2 field
Friend of the
goals.
show. 3 field goals.
Man
right?
of the show.
2.
Maybe 2 with 5
Yeah,
touchdowns.
2.
Yeah.
That's right.
Math.
Mr. Harris.
Did you? What did you say, Jay?
41-38.
Okay, I think we'll.
It's good. You can copy me if you want.
No, I think we'll score 38, and they'll score. I'm trying to do the math in my head. I don't know. It's gonna be close. 35, 31. I don't know. 32.
You had your.
I said 38-31.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Pick a different
That's
number,
okay.
man. Come
I'm
on.
not paying attention. 32 then.
Well, you finished with 35-31.
No, we'll get a safe. They'll get a safety off of us from snapping out of the end zone.
Snapping
Yeah,
5
so
yards
we
above
just
the
won't put Isaac back there.
punter's head.
Block really well.
Yeah, I'll this game still concerns me. I predict us to go 9-3 this year. I think this is one of our losses. I think it's going to be 35-28
Boo.
Louisville. So,
Yeah. No, I think we're gonna.
Okay,
I
but-
said we're gonna win. I think we're
Okay,
gonna lose
you
that.
said your head prediction. Go back and do the heart one.
my heart prediction is that we drop 42. I think that we keep up the 40 plus. That's my heart. My heart says
Yeah.
42 points.
42,
They're going to score 35 on us.
42,
I think
35.
yeah,
Okay,
they're a
that's-
high scoring team. Their lowest scoring game was against Notre Dame, who has a stout defense, and they scored 24 on them. So
They're scoring.
No.
they're
At
gonna,
least
I think
30
they're gonna
against
score
us.
30
Look,
against
you
us.
picked SMU to win.
Yeah.
Of course, we all think that we should be underdogs, but we all know we all think we can win too.
Yeah, no, I
I
mean,
think we have a chance. Yeah.
35-28 is a 1 touchdown game.
Yeah.
I mean, you get something break your way, they fumble, pick six, kick return for a touchdown, any of those things, you win the game.
I
Like,
feel
type thing.
I feel
So
very confident. I don't think I'm not like delusional or think like, oh, we're definitely gonna win, but I think we have a great chance.
we have a non-offensive touchdown. I think that we are break even, and if we have a non-offensive touchdown with another turnover, I think we win. Like if we win the turnover battle with a non-offensive touchdown, I think we could win. I think we will win.
And
I should
defense
say.
travels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody can run on us. So
So, but
Except
that's what
for-
it takes.
The one thing that we really couldn't defend against tonight was the RPO, and so we got to work on that.
Yeah.
But pretty much every play that we just got kind of beat up on
Little
was a little
slice and
RPO.
dice.
Yeah.
So
One more thing that
Yep.
was making me nervous. Thank you, Juan, for pointing it out in the chat. I wanted to talk about this. Was the special team receiver, the punt returner. That guy was making me nervous.
Yeah,
Bill Armstrong. Bill Armstrong, after the TCU game, said he peed himself a little bit with excitement. I peed myself a little bit with nervousness. Nervousness. Watching that guy chase down a punt that was way on the other side of the field from him and seeing him try to catch it. He did catch it, but why do we need to put ourselves
sometimes you just got to let it go.
in such a risky position?
Those last 3 or 4 punt returns were an adventure.
Yeah, especially, after the mishaps we've had in the past, BYU. But, it's just let it go. Trust the offense. I trust the offense.
He's usually really solid. I did think after the second fumble, I was like, bro, just stop trying to field these punts. Just let it go.
Yeah.
I kind of peed a little bit. It was so exciting.
That was Bill Armstrong. Man.
If you didn't watch the Walking Strong with Bill Armstrong and Billy Embody from last week, go give it a watch.
It was good.
We are sponsored by the On the Pony Express podcast. Thank you for
no, we're not.
Thank you for sponsoring this podcast.
Ben.
No, I'm just kidding.
I don't want to get us in trouble.
All right. All right. Thanks for listening tonight.
Yeah.
If you're still here, man, at 1:15 in the
God
morning.
bless you.
It's gone up. It was at 10, then it went down to 8, then it's up at 11.
Well, the Secret Service.
The Secret Service is watching now.
It's actually 12 now, so there's more.
So,
agents
but while
coming in.
you're here, Secret Service, please comment, subscribe.
Leave a voice memo. No one has done that
Yes.
yet, and I
Not
think
for a
it's
while.
it's a really cool thing. Yes, I guess someone did after first episode, but it's a really cool thing, and I want to hear your thoughts on which game was more important, Florida State or TCU, and why. I also want to hear if you feel like you have been healed by what occurred at the TCU game.
Yeah.
Because it's changed me.
Yeah.
And how did they leave the voice memo?
Oh, there's a link in the Spotify description. There's also a link in our Instagram bio. So you just click that, follow the instructions, and you get to leave a voice memo. And you'll get to hear yourself on the pod.
And we'll have a special prize for...
Sure.
Yeah. We'll figure out a prize.
Something.
Have we sold the iron
No,
skillet?
unfortunately, we have not received any bids.
We haven't signed it either.
For the apron. But your mom actually said in the chat that she needs that apron, so maybe she could send in a bid.
An unsolicited offer.
Wait, but this is us soliciting.
Yeah,
the
we're
offer.
definitely
we are
soliciting
actually
an
asking
offer.
for
Okay,
people to.
okay. Solicit the offer, mother. Please. Thank you.
Oh, man. All right. Any final thoughts?
Nope.
Pony up. We're back.
I'm excited.
Pony up.
Excited for the
Yeah.
road game.
Never doubted.
Should be
The Mustangs. The Mustangs are
fact.
back.
Ben
We
never
are-
doubted.
No, we never. Yeah, never wavered.
and we're coming for the Cardinals.
Fact.
Are they the Cardinals?
The Cardinals?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
are. Okay, that's what. I
Not
thought.
the Cardinal. The Cardinals.
Yeah, coming for them. Good stuff, guys.
All right. Awesome. Thanks so much for
Love you guys.
listening. Yeah, just a wonderful week in the ACC.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, great episode.
Feels great.
So, pony up, pony out. Thanks for listening to the Mustang Mood. This has been amazing. Let's go, ponies.
Pony
We'll
up,
beat
baby.
Louisville next week.